Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and the row by row shop hop experience is a lot of fun to participate. And for 2015, Quilting Confections has shared their pattern. And what is really great about it? It's fish. And my husband is a big fisherman, and he's with a company called Thunder Miss Lures. And well, he might not think it's as cute as I think it is, but he'll like it just the same. Let's get started. The row looks like this. It consists of 5 fish. They're very easy to do. For the water, I would recommend a blue pattern with some small little print on it because you're going to have some small pieces, and when it's sewn together, you won't notice the small pieces. It will look like one solid piece. For each fish, the water will consist of 3 2.5-inch squares and 2 4.5-inch squares that are going to be cut apart on the diagonal. So you will have 4 of these triangles. For the fish, you're going to need 1 2.5-inch square. Then you're going to need 3 2.25-inch squares. And you will press them together, wrong sides together, on an angle. And each one of these pressed squares will match a corner. So this is going to make the fish, this is going to make the water. So to start with, when you've taken your 2 1/4-inch squares and have pressed them, match them up to the corner and attach them onto the bottom square. It is not going to be the same size. You're going to have a little extra in the corners. So what you need to do is just stitch down a scant 1/4 inch because you're going to stitch again after. So you don't want your first row of stitching to be seen. So each of the squares have been sewn onto the water background, and this is the fold. Now you're going to take it to the iron and you're going to push this back and press it so it has this little curve in it. Do you see how it's pressed down and it looks like a bit of a curve? And when you do that, leave a little space here before the stitching. It's going to save with bulk and it's going to be easier to sew together. Now with matching thread, you need to stitch down that little curve and do it to all 3 squares. So that little curve has been stitched down. There's a little space in each corner. So now we can make the fish. You have the body of the fish, the back fin, and the 2 side fins. So 2 together, and then sew the center seam. And all of the points are going in the same direction. And by doing that first scant seam, you can see that you will not see the stitching on the top. So the fish himself is done, but now we need to have him swimming in some water. So we have the 4.5-inch squares that you've cut in half, and they're going to go on each side. They are a lot bigger. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the point and match it up to the center line, and keeping this edge straight, you're going to be able to do the 1/4 inch coming off on both sides. And you will be able to do the same for this side. You're going to lift this up out of the way, match the point to the center seam, and stitch down. Once the seams have been done, press. Next, you're going to be able to trim off these dog ears. Following that center line that you have in the block, just trim off the dog ears and do that to both sides. Now you're going to take the other square that was 4.5 inches that was cut on the diagonal, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take the point, match it to the center seam, and sew the 1/4 inch. And the same on the other side. Lift this up, find that point, and stitch down. And just as before, press it open. And other than the eye, the fish block is done. And now you're going to be able to trim this down to 6 3/4. So the fish block is all squared up. And I did the same with all of the blocks, and I did use matching thread. And this is a great pattern because you can use little leftovers and have all different color fish. The next thing you're going to do is sew some borders around the fish. And the borders are going to vary so that the fish are not all in the same row, that it looks like they're varied. So you'll have 1 in the bottom for 1. This one has 3 around it, and they're all different in size. So by following the directions, she gives you all the sizes to add around the border, and you're just going to sew them on. Next, we'll be sewing all the fish together to make one long row. So the whole row is sewn together. Now we need to add some grasses and some little fish. And in the back of the pattern, you have the grass and some fish. You will need a couple of greens and some black because the fish are going to look like shadows. Now I'm just going to fuse the appliques right onto the fish background. And I'm going to use this product because it is repositionable. What you're going to do is you're going to draw all of the grass and the fish that you want on the paper side. This side here will have a glue on it. And then you're going to be able to cut them out just a little bit around the outside. So you're going to fuse the glue side onto the back side of the fabric. You're going to be able to place them on the fabric. And as long as you have room all the way around them, it doesn't matter on the direction because this is going to stabilize them so you don't have to worry about them stretching. Take a medium heat with no steam and press. Hold the iron for a couple of seconds and then move it. Hold the iron for a couple of seconds and move it. Once they're pressed on, let this cool. If you try to do it while it's hot, the glue will lift off, so let it cool down completely. And once they're cool, you can cut out the shapes. To take the bottom paper off, just take a pin and just run it along the paper. You'll be able to separate the paper and the paper will come right off. And the back will have a bit of a sticky on it, and that's what's going to make it repositionable. So cut out all your shapes. And once all the paper has been taken off, you can take that sticky and stick it wherever you want it. And the bonus is, if you don't like it there, you can move it. And it stays until you iron it permanent. So put all your grass and all your little fish on. It's your fish tank, so you can put as much grass and as many fish as you'd like. And once you have the grass and the fish where you want them, you're able to iron this down permanently. Just hold it for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then you can turn it over and again press it from the wrong side, and this is now permanent. And when it's all set, the last thing to do is to put a little eye on each fish. Now you can use a permanent marker or you can do a little French knot. The row is now done. What a great project to use up all of those little pieces of fabric that you have to make the fish. I'll put a link in the description to the free pattern from Quilting Confection. As always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.